I am over 20. Excuse me. Thank you. Sorry, I had a bunch of nuts before the show, and they got stuck. Yeah. That's why the Bud Light. It wasn't a planned joke, but trust me, I wasn't building up the entire time for that moment. But I did choke on a weird peanut shell back there. And then as I was drinking the Bud Light, I saw this guy with the Second Amendment shirt going, he's drinking a Bud Light, and I was like, quickly, save it, save it! Don't lose the audience in Missouri. And I quickly tried to bring it around.
Make some noise for Zoltan.
Solid attempt. Give it, Carter, everybody. Make it loud for him. What's up, everybody? One more time for Carter. He almost got my name. That is a tough name to nail, man. I've never seen someone quit in the middle of it, though. That was Zoltan, and then he's like, I have one of those last names, but where like looking at it doesn't help. Like if you're like, what was it? How do I pronounce it? Looking at it's not gonna help. That's like someone just punched you in the eyes with letters. Like, figure that out, you know? It's so nice to be here. One more time for Carter and Old Man Willie. Oh, Lord. I don't know if they talked about it, but I feel like they could be related. Like I got similar energies from both of them. Like I can see Carter being Willie in like 70 more years. He's gonna age into a lot of those jokes. Like it's gonna be good. I like Carter. He has the look of like a villain from the 20s, you know? He looked like he just got done tying someone to train tracks. All right, some of you are into it, some of you were bored. All right, we're getting started. We're gonna start low, we're gonna build high, don't worry. It's good. It's first time here in the blue room, and you guys meant it. It's blue. All right. You guys are on theme. I love it. They told me this used to be a church. Yeah. I could, like, this was one of those cool churches, though. You could tell. Was it? Someone's like, I heard someone go, no, it wasn't. It was in between. Did you go to it?
I came a couple times.
Yeah. Was there, like, trips? It felt like this was, like, a church where they had trips.
No, it was interesting.
It was interesting. Wow, what a subtle way to say it turned into a cult, huh? The way he said it, it was interesting. And I was like, we get it, man. Well, I'm waiting for the documentary too. Just like you. It's gonna be a hell of a documentary. That's why anytime I see something on the news, my wife and I, we nudge each other, like, can't wait for that documentary. You know, every time we're like, that's gonna be a badass documentary. The submarine thing, you know that's coming out.
It's already out.
It's already out?
It's already out.
They made it already?
They made it already.
But who's editing that? God, who's editing these documentaries? It's like, we don't even know yet. Just do it. Just make it. We're going to come up with 2 endings. A really joyful ending, and then the one where that guy's giving the speech. Did you guys watch that guy's speech? The guy for the Coast Guard? There was a catastrophic implosion. Which, that's not, like, you know what that reminds me? It reminds me when I was a kid and I'd watch the news and I didn't know big words. And that doesn't explain what happened. Because that's, like, if I was a kid and I listened to catastrophic implosion, I'd be like, so are they alive? Or, like, that's not enough. I need, like, a visual. Someone in the back to go, like, that's what catastrophic implosion means, man. That's a bummer. I did $250,000 for that trip, and I looked into it. They didn't even have seats. Did you guys know that? In the submarine, no chairs. Spirit Airlines has chairs. $50, wherever you want to go. Chairs. $250,000, and you show up and like. It just looked like they had a drawing. I was on a website, and they had like a drawing of the submarine, and they just had a picture of 5 people sitting cross-legged with one window. They had to share one window. $250,000. One person gets the window seat, and you just. Honestly, when you looked at the diagram of the people sitting in there, it looked like a punishment. It didn't look like a wild adventure. It looked like they were sentenced to something harsh. They're like, listen, you guys, you're going in the submarine. And you're like, no, please. And you're going. You're not getting the window seat. There will be no seats. It's classic. Rich people never know how to have fun. They don't. That's what they do for fun. They're like, we're gonna go on a submarine, $250,000. Every rich person activity sounds like a punishment. The opera, you know? Polo, you know? Caviar, like pheasant hunting, and you're like, ugh. That's all I had on it. I was trying to watch the news. I don't know. It was fun. I've never been up here to Springfield, Missouri. I've done Kansas City. That's where I flew into. I landed into Kansas City. New airport over there. I don't know if you guys go check that out. They had the oldest airport before, and now it's the newest one. I don't know if you've ever been down there, but the oldest airport, like you wouldn't, it was, not only was it before 9/11, it was before World War II. Like that's how old that airport looked. They're like, there's never been anything bad that's happened in this country. That's how old, like you could drop someone off and wave to them as they boarded their flights. And I like that. It was easy to find the Uber pickup area because it was just the curb, you know. They're like, is this the Uber? Yeah, you're at it. I'm like, all right. But now it's like super modern. Like it was beautiful. I got off and I had to go tinkle. And I ran into the restroom, and they actually had a sign that let you know how many stalls were opened, like before you went in there. I'm like, that's a little too technical, you know? Leave a little mystery, you know? Isn't that fun? You get off that flight, your teeth are floating, and you're like, I really gotta, there's a line, you know? Don't take all the thrill out of life. Let me live a little. Just a little. I don't know. Then we had gotten a rental car, got a badass rental car. It's a Cadillac. I've never driven a Cadillac in my life. And they didn't want to give it to me, but they didn't have the car that I was supposed to have, so they had to begrudgingly give me an upgrade. That's a good little traveler's tip, because I travel all the time. If you get up to the counter and they really try to push the upgrade on you, hey, for an extra $50, I can put you in a Cadillac. What that means is that Nissan Versa isn't back yet. And they're trying to get some money, so just stay strong. You're gonna get the Cadillac. Okay? You're gonna get that Cadillac. Don't pay an extra $50 for it. Next time they ask you, they just go, oh, the Versa's not back yet? And watch their face go, damn it, he knows their secrets. Free upgrade. And we made the drive out here. It was me by myself. But I talk in my head, so it feels like I'm not alone. Made that drive, man. There was nothing between here and Kansas City, dude. Nothing, man. A lot of nothing. Nothing and then Amish. And you're like, wow, you know? It's so crazy because we keep, like, I feel like I'd scare them, you know? If I pulled over and showed them what's going on in this Cadillac, they'd be like, get the hell out of here, dude. With your witchcraft. Like, I don't even know if I could explain AI to the Amish. I wouldn't even know how. Just like, imagine if the butter that you're churning ended up one day killing you all. Like, imagine that happening. I think that's the best way I can explain it. It's a tough one, you know? But they might be living right, you know, because we've used every piece of technology to make sure we hate each other. Everything that's come out, we're like, how can I hate someone with this? But they're over there. There's no group chat in the Amish community. That's just 5 people in the same room. That's what a group chat is. What was that, Jebediah? You know? That's a group chat right there. Yeah, it's creepy. It's a creepy drive. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I had to pee, and I was hungry, and the next stop was a town called Humansville. I kept driving, you know? And I was hungry. Nope. You ever have those moments you just drive and you see the name of the town? Like, we're not doing that.
I take it you didn't stop at Fair Play after that? Or
What's that?
did you stop in Fair Play after
No, I kept driving until I got here. Because after I saw Humansville, I'm like, we're not stopping anywhere. Because it felt like a trap, you know? Humansville sounded like aliens from outer space took over a town, and they're like, how do we get them to come in? Name it something relatable. Humansville! And then you show up, there's just no one's blinking. Welcome to Humansville! Think you're having a good time, next thing you know, they're sucking out your spinal fluid. Watch a lot of Black Mirror, you guys. Because it was Amish, and then like right outside, like this city's cool, like the town here, and then right outside of it, a little methy. And let's be honest, you know, it's methy. It's a little. I don't know what that. I guess that's still Springfield, but like right outside where you get off the freeway, and then it's like I ate at a Jimmy John's over there. You know, which I try not to, because the owner kills lions in Africa, so I try not to support that, but I was hungry. And I was in the middle of what felt like nowhere, and I'm like, you know, someone's gonna eat these sandwiches, so I went in there, but as I pulled in, there was a shirtless dude, this big jacked up white dude, shirtless, and he was just walking. You know, like some people gotta walk where you're like, oh, there's a felony coming at the end of that walk. You can tell in the stance, you're like, he's headed to something bad, you know? And I looked closer, he had an ankle bracelet, like the monitor. And I'm like, where are the police? Like, there's no way his boundaries are the town. Like, yeah, just feel free to walk around all methy and shirtless, scaring the town folk. Where are the police? He was scaring the town folk. I know I wasn't the only one afraid, it was me and Jimmy. Looking out there going, hope he's not hungry. I don't think we can take him together, even together. He looked like he had the good prison muscles. Good. Oh, please eat. Yeah, I see you holding your sandwich. Oh, you're laughing too hard? I'll slow it down. I don't want to keep you from eating. I just saw you holding that sandwich, and I'm like, eat, man. Enjoy yourself. Because I hate you guys, because I love eating, and thankfully my wife loves eating too. We're one of those couples, when the food arrives, we don't talk. You know, we do all our talking before and after. Once the food arrives, it's like we're in a fight, you know? But we're not. We're in a very lovely place. We're eating food, and our endorphins are high. But the worst is if we go on a double date with like another couple, and most other couples just don't eat like they do, and then they're like, and my wife and I are like you right now, just go. And we're pretending to be into it, but inside on the inside we're like, shut up! Shut up and eat! We didn't have a snack before this meal, because we knew this dinner was coming. Now you're not letting us eat. Let us eat! Yeah, man. It's good. Last weekend, I've been traveling a lot. Last weekend, I didn't travel for comedy. It was my buddy's bachelor party. A bunch of guys, and I'm 36, so a bunch of mid-30s to late 30s. We went to Parker, Arizona, which, I don't know, if you haven't been to Parker, Arizona, what I expect Humansville to be like, you know? It's a bunch of people where you're not real. Are you serious? It's just like you picture Arizona, but picture like cast a movie about Arizona where the casting is a little on the nose. That's what Parker, Arizona is. There's a lot of dudes in hats, like baseball caps, but their hats are too big for their heads, so it covers the tops of their ears. Do you know what look I'm talking about? It's like bro-y, but not for the ocean. They're like... I grew up in Southern California, so I get it. Like, if you don't get it, there's two political parties in Southern California. There's people that go to the beach and people that go to the river. All right? Those are the two. And by the way, it doesn't split as liberal and conservative. It splits as sunshine or hell. I want to hang out in hell. It's 110 degrees. It was so hot. And everyone was scary. And my friend group, the guy who was the bachelor, he was having a great time, but he befriends everybody. So we had the biggest motley crew of people that I've ever met, like people that I would never hang out with my entire life. I'm now spending a weekend with at the river. There's this one dude who fit right in. He looked like our connect to the town. His name was Jenny, I think. That was a nickname. He was one of those guys that had like 4 nicknames, so I never really got his name. And he was just covered in tattoos, head to toe, which I'm not judging, that's fine. But there was a beautiful moment on the drive back when we were talking about work and how stressful, because they have real jobs, not this fake stuff that I do, but like they have real jobs, and he just goes, money isn't everything. I've really learned that money isn't everything, even though I have the opposite tattooed on my leg. And I was like, what'd you say? And then he pulled up his leg and it said, money is everything on his leg. And I was like, oh man. So what now, I was like, well, I'm going to keep it, but, it will remind me that I was wrong. It's important. They did so much drugs, and they shouldn't. I'm not a drug guy, never been. I have a low resting heart rate. That's my reason. I've never done, people do the cocaine now, all that stuff. I've never tried it, because one time I took an Adderall, and then it was fun. I was in Vegas, I took one little Adderall, and I just couldn't stop talking. I had, all night, just blah, 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 blah. I had nothing to say, but I couldn't shut up. It's the most I've ever said about nothing the entire time. And the next morning I woke up and it felt like I was sprinting, but I wasn't sprinting. My heart was just beating like a rabbit, and I woke everybody up. And they're like, yeah, that happens sometimes. And I'm like, you should be more afraid. And they're like, no, we're not. And I was like, okay. And I never did anything after that. I do edibles. That's what I'm into. I'm into the calming ones, I'm into the stuff where you go, if you get a drug that does that, I'll give it a try, Do you have one? If you can smile while doing it and not feel the need to, keep talking, then I'm into it. I love a little edible. I'm so happy those are illegal. Could you imagine if they were illegal still? Like having to buy that from a drug dealer? Having to go into some drug dealer's studio apartment and be like, what are you here for? The gummy bears. I'd be so embarrassed. I'd have to order something else, just so he wouldn't judge me. And some black tar heroin, that too. The gummy bears are for the kids, the smacks for daddy, And I gotta flush the heroin. I'm not doing that, I'm just trying to giggle while watching TV. Marijuana in some form or fashion has been legal in this country for about 10 years, I think. I don't know, I half looked it up. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but in those last 10 years, anxiety and conspiracy theories through the roof. And I'm not saying they're connected. I'm just saying it's worth looking into, Sometimes I get on the wrong side of a little gummy, and then I'll make eye contact with one of the cats and be like, what do you know? Tell me right now, what the hell do you know? And they just not impressed with me.